Hi everyone, welcome to Ethernal Realms. In this video we're going to see what your spiritual squad is trying to communicate to you, that is your guides, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit itself. Okay, we have 4 piles as usual. This is pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure to choose with your intuition. If you're not sure how exactly, you can visit the video in the ribbon above, and whenever you're ready you can choose your particular pile from the timestamps in the description box in the comment below. We'll get started with your reading. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. We're going to find out some messages from your spiritual team. This includes your guides, your higher self, your own spirit, of course, and your ancestors too. And we'll see who else wants to join in, but regardless of who is coming through, this is the message for them, from them for you. Okay, so let's move on. We have Canary, which is step forward now and sing your song. There is power in finding your voice. Okay. And I have Finch, new opportunities and choices are opening to you now. Claim them. And we also have the Parrot, let go of others' thoughts and opinions. It is time to embrace who you really are. So a lot about speaking up and speaking truth of yourself. What do you want to do? What do you want to create? What is your vision? Standing up for that, not being shy about it, and embracing the new things that come into your life, the new people you meet, the new opportunities you see, the new situations you encounter. Just being open to all of that, you know. It's kind of like it's flowing, it's coming, and you need to be in a place to claim, that is, be in a place of reception and acceptance, right? Okay, and don't worry about what other people will say or what it will come across to others. That's not your business, that's not your concern. All you need to do is be very authentic and true to yourself, okay? And accordingly things are going to resonate, things are going to fall into place, and you don't have to worry about the rest. Very nice. Okay, let's move on to the next messages. We have your soul shines. Okay, so one of it's quite clear that your spirit is directly trying to communicate with you. We also have nourish the sacred feminine. Sacred feminine is all again about creating a space which is welcoming enough for life to blossom. It is creative, it is flowing, it is intuitive, it is receiving, it is, like I said, the environment itself that is conducive to any positive growth. Real gentle as well. So it's a very loving advice and guidance that comes to you, you know, whenever you are in a quiet place. It's just they show their support, your spiritual team, by kind of calming you down when you're feeling frantic, giving you a lot of intuitive insights along the way. If you feel as though you cannot trust something, believe that, okay? They're asking you to also, you know, use your intuition, of course, to guide you to, you know, is this worth it? Is this worth rebelling against so-and-so thing? Idea, concept, people, institution, whatever. Is it really worth it or not? Ask from a place not of rage, but of calm. That's the only way you can, you know, engage your intuition, right? If you're really frantic, it just doesn't come, it doesn't happen. And intuition will never be aggressive. That's the thing. Like, even if you want to step forward and, you know, speak about what you want to do, let's say you want to change a career path, or you want to change your location and everyone's not on board with it, you can say the same thing without getting offensive or defensive. Just stating your opinions and not caring about the others doesn't mean that you have to be rude to them at all, right? It's just, again, a place of acceptance that, yes, you know what, they have not been raised a certain way, or they have not gone through certain circumstances that I have. So it is not possible for everyone to understand what exactly you are going through, or what you're wanting or craving, and what your calling is. So many people are not even able to identify the calling part, right? So if you know that, embrace it, because there will be things coming to you. If that is your calling, it will be in alignment with you, and everything else is going to flow. Okay, when you're feeling too worried and you have pressure and expectations, then ask for that pressure and expectation to be released, rather than asking the universe to cater to that pressure. I hope I'm making sense. That was something that wanted to come. Just ask for help when you need to deal with something, but first is to acknowledge that something is toxic for you or not. So that obviously you can only know when you actually understand what your calling is. Where do you see yourself to be really happy, regardless of what the expectations are? Where is it that you can flow without needing a direction? You can just flow because you love it, you know? Okay. And we also, wow, we have accept and receive. That's what we were talking about with the finch there. So it's again kind of resonating that things are coming in and you need to be in a receptive state. And you can recognize it only if you are in that reception state anyway. So whatever opportunity comes, it will be a result of your own vibes, okay? So trust that you're on the right path. Your soul shines is like your spirit's voice is loud and clear. All you need to do is kind of pay attention with this step forward now as well. This is kind of the power in finding your voice is first by finding your voice with yourself, right? When there is a point of being brutally honest with yourself without being critical, the spirit will not be critical. It's just going to be, hey, this was not right. We should not have done it. Okay, there is no ego. There is no guilty pleasure type of things. It's not just to roar. The spirit is not trying to roar, right? It is a beacon of hope. It's a beacon of light, and you express it in a different way as someone else does. That's how it's unique, and only you can understand your own spirit shine, that particular shine, right? That's why we have individual calls. Everyone cannot have the same exact path and same exact journey and attitude towards anything. Yeah, so it is important to listen to your own voice first, okay? And once you start being completely honest with yourself, in like not being too harsh but not being too lenient, that sweet spot where you're speaking the truth, and whether the ego version of you, the earthly version of you, likes it or not, it is still the truth, right? However much you deny it, you cannot run away from it. That is the truth. Yeah. So your soul is trying to show you the correct path at all times. It is always guiding you. It has certain guideposts in place already for your life, so you don't need to worry about a lot of these things, which are mainly external. It's just about, you need to stay in a high vibe situation. You need to flow with what the universe's guidances are. Things like that are mainly in your messages. Okay, that was a lot that came through already. Okay, let's see the tarot cards. We have the Fool. There you go. Like, this is take the leap. We have 10 of Pentacles. You will be successful. You will be financially stable. You will have a strong foundation. Just keep going once you begin. Okay, just begin is kind of loud. We also have the Guardian of Pentacles. That's the Queen of Pentacles. That's also super grounded. Stay grounded. You are safe. You are secure. Don't worry about financial and material resources. They will present to you when the time is right. And again, the Guardian is again a very receptive state, right? That's the feminine of the Pentacles. So she has created this cozy space, and she's just safeguarding there, that coin over there, right? So it is just creating that warmth, that feeling of, yes, you are one with the earth, you're one with the forest, that type of thing. That's the archetype of the Guardian of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, right? So this here is giving you that very warm motherly vibe as well. Perhaps it's a feminine spirit guide that you associate with, or your higher self are feminine. So this here might resonate with you in that way. It's kind of a representation of this very motherly person, entity, who is always there taking care of you and kind of always consoling you to not worry, everything will be fine, don't worry, you're fine, giving you, it kind of is like a shooting of warmth, a shooting of just comfort. Like if you would imagine that this entity is sending you a wave of something, then it would be a wave of empathy, compassion, love, support, warmth, all of those things. Oh wow, we have the Judgment there. So that is the calling. It's kind of like once you know where you need to go, everything else apart from that is not bright anymore. It's not eventful, it's not beautiful, it's not astounding anymore. It's just that this one thing, you can see that, it's all blue and white, or in other words, like black and white, but over here, this doorway is just full of colors, right? It's like you were blind before, but now you can see. And you can see clearly and truthfully what the real shades of your life are, and what you have become, and in how many facets you have grown, and where do you want to go, and what that path looks like to you, right? This is so interesting that the Fool and the Judgment card here, the cliff kind of looks the same, right, near the doorway here. It looks as though you need to leap into the destiny, the calling that you receive. You will see it in the synchronicities. 10, 1010, 1010, these type of things are something that will be accompanied as well for some of you. Yeah, but this is like really paying attention and listening. Take heed to the call. That's something I hear. Okay, we also have the Devil, so don't trap yourself. Don't trap yourself in the illusions. I kind of imagine the Devil to be this, in this particular imagery in this deck, I feel is that this white trees here in the Judgment is kind of first perceived as the dark wooden long trees that are kind of, scaring you. They're foreboding. They're not, it's as though you cannot see, you cannot know, and if you cannot know, then you are giving into a lot of illusions, a lot of insecurities and fears that you let trap you. This includes overthinking and anxiety as well, kind of going round and round in circles, trapping yourself. But actually it's just, it seems scary to you. It's just the perception. That doesn't mean that there are no hurdles along the way, or that, you're just being unnecessarily dramatic or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But the point here is that you don't need to fixate on the little details, because the little details are something that you need to know beforehand. And there are so many. Right now is a time to be leaping into the unknown and flowing with what comes, right? In that way, you will not be able to know these specific details, and that's okay. That's what Spirit is saying, that you don't need to know this part. You don't need to know. You will reach there. We will take you. You are safe. Just go. All you need to do is go, walk, let's begin. Because the road there is very stable, and it is going to be long lasting. It can become your legacy as well. For some of you, this is a career shift, because we have 2 Pentacles there, and it would be scary, it would be really scary. And it might, again, like if you're completely switching fields, for example, a lot of people are going to be taken aback, and they will have certain opinions about your choices. But again, it's like the voice you hear, the calling you get is your spirit's, because your spirit is shining, your soul is shining. It's trying to talk to you. It's being like a beacon. It's flashing you lights so that you notice. Okay, and it will keep doing that until you do so, because this has to happen. The Judgment is a major arcana. This just has to happen, Okay, we also have the Child of Wands. So this can be like a creative field that you're trying to enter, artistic abilities of any type. It's something inspiring. It's something active, your imagination can really soar. It can go free, you can do something with it. It's time to just think creatively and actively and just be free, feel free. That's something there. Feel free, chase your inspiration, chase that dream. The Child of Wands is still there. Of course, it's a child, right? It's also the Page of Wands in the other tarot, but the child is still immature. It's trying to understand this particular experience. It sees fire, sure, but how does fire behave? He or she doesn't know. The child doesn't know, right? So the child then has to experiment and kind of try to touch it and see if it is too hot or too cold, or is it liquid, is it what? There's a lot of trying to observe it from a distance, being very curious, trying to understand what's going on. It's not like as go-getting as the explorer or the knight, but this is like starting to question things and trying to be curious about the world around. So the Child of Wands is like, you're still at a young stage, it is still beginning, but that doesn't mean that you should be afraid of that. Just like a child is not afraid to go and try something, not afraid to fail, not afraid to fall. It just goes because it's curious, and because of going with something, the child learns a lot more. Right? That's why we feel as though when we are children, we learn a lot more and a lot faster as compared to when we are much older, right? But that's actually not true. When you, I don't remember the paper that I read it in, but it was in some psychology something, some psychology journal thing. But they had like done a test of, does it really happen that with age you lose your intelligence or your ability to do anything? No, it's just the force of habit. Okay, throughout life, if you keep exploring things and being curious and staying curious, you're going to stay that way even when you're older, right? If you allow to receive right now, you will allow yourself to receive even later. So you're open all the time, so new information also comes in. It's just about what do you allow into your life. As children, we just don't have that distinction that, hey, maybe I should not allow this, I should allow that. We're still forming a sense of boundary, right? But as we get older, because of the boundary thing, we then close ourselves off. But the point of this is that you can always return to that childlike innocence that even the Fool represents: optimism, hope, and joy, just seeking that one exciting thing. And that doesn't mean that you ditch everything and you don't care about your finances at all. That I understand. We are living in a practical world. We all can't just regress to being 5 years old or 10 or whatever. But after taking care of the very basics, don't worry about the rest. Just explore things. Just look for yourself and kind of see what inspires you and just brings you so much excitement. If you don't already know, if you already know, then it's kind of talking about learn more about it, figure it out. Don't just stop yourself before doing anything. Just see. Yeah? Okay. Oh, that was a lot of detail. Okay, nice. So this is your affirmation. When I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. I mean, this says it all. This is an affirmation, so you can keep repeating it. You can use it in your manifestations as well. I don't mind. I hope the creator of the deck doesn't mind. But yeah, you can totally use that. It's also talking about the solar plexus with the sun-like thing there. And also it's quite yellow with these two as well. So that talks about being more proactive. It's more doing rather than feeling or thinking. Yeah. So it is but it obviously in this sense it's kind of do the work in order to feel high vibe that we talked about already. But do things that make you happy, that make you feel inspired. It's fiery, it's passionate. Look for what makes you come alive and as though you want to have another passion, that you want to chase something, that you want to dive for something. If you forget about the fears, what makes you want to go ahead and just do it? You know, that's something that it can be very small. Again, I'm not talking about guilty pleasure stuff. I'm talking about, I don't know, for some people it is like building with Legos. It's really fun, of course, but also they like the whole construction of things. For some people it's the organization of things. For some people it is just a self-challenge thing. Everyone goes to Legos with a different type of mindset or different way of feeling satisfied. So whatever that satisfaction is, that blissful feeling that you get, is, you need to work more on that. So if it is drawing, you need to draw. You don't have to be perfect, you don't have to be good, just draw something. And after that, you just, you work on it, but you need to begin, okay? You will attract support. The right materials will come. You will keep it in mind and you will get it yourself because you take the initiative. You will also make more time for it. So making excuses in any way is not going to help you. Not now, not ever, for any type of situation, right? Especially not when it's your calling that is so not, productive. I don't know what to say. We don't have so much time relative to our spiritual lives. This lifetime is not that much, right? So it helps so much when you keep going with the flow. You keep looking for what makes you satisfied, what makes you happy. It is not going to remain the same throughout life, of course not. So feeling like you need an evolution, a type of change in your any setting is okay. If you look at it from an objective perspective, it is okay. It is actually quite natural. We all evolve, right? We were once babies and now we are not. We did evolve. And whether we liked it or not, whether our parents liked it or not, it still happened. That does not change. So similarly, you still shine. Your spirit will still get its way, whether you're going to go flailing your arms and feet, or you're going to go willingly, happily, really realizing that, hey, this is actually what I want and I should pursue it. Why am I trying to deny myself this? It's not a painful process at all. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. I'm just trying to give you more encouragement. But yeah, it's basically saying do what makes you happy, okay? And the rest will just fall into place. Okay, that's what I have for you, Pile 1. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed. If you want a personal reading, you can always reach me via my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box and the comment below. Feel free to check out any of my other videos. Until next time, take care. Bye. Hi Pile 2, welcome to your reading. We're going to see what your spirit squad is trying to convey to you, what are their messages, and we'll also look for some synchronicities they're trying to send your way. Okay, so let's get started with the feather messages, then we move on to the rest. We have Ren, be bold and confident. Use all of your resources to create your dreams. Then we have the Eagle. You're learning all aspects of spiritual connection and reaching new heights. With this, I do feel like I need to say that spiritual aspects are learned not just from meditation. It is learning the different facets. You're gaining new qualities and new abilities and skills and talents. You're discovering your own thresholds to different type of situations. The way you deal with people right now is not going to be the same as you used to like a year from now, right? A year ago, I mean. Right? So a lot happened to contribute to your personal growth, of course. But regardless of what the external things were, you still are growing and you will always keep growing. However much you want to stay ignorant, you can do so. I mean, there are so many people who are already staying a lot ignorant to their own development, their realistic situations, like how is this affecting them personally, their feelings, thoughts, etc., etc. But that does not mean that there is zero development, right? Whether you realize it or now or after the ego falls away, you will still be learning because you experienced a certain thing. Right, so what do you get out of this situation? So if you're going through, let's say, a difficult career situation, right? Your boss is not getting along with you, or your coworkers are being a hassle, your classmates are being a hassle, whatever the case is, it does not have to be pleasant. People learn in very different ways. When everything is nice and rainbows and hunky-dory, you're not going to gain as much from it in terms of personal development as compared to something adverse, right? It doesn't mean that you need to seek suffering, but if you are going through something difficult, it's only trying to teach you something. So the moment you stop and ask and think, okay, hey, if I'm learning something, what is it that I'm learning, right? My bachelor education, for example, was extremely difficult. It was like quite difficult, okay? And I did not know what did I do to deserve that type of suffering and etc., stuff like that. But it was not about me being a criminal or a sinner in some way. Maybe that was also part of it, and karmic debt was being cleared. That's fine. But I also realized that if I can go through that, I can deal with anything else. And that belief, that faith that situation brought towards me, that was important. Because after that as well, a lot of problems have occurred. Last year was just something else altogether, right? I guess for most people that was the case. But yeah, on a personal level, it was definitely really, really hard. But because I knew that I can go through anything else that life throws at me after that education, after that phase, I still went through it. And I was able to roll with it much better. Okay, so even if you don't see the benefits or don't realize the benefits yet of what is happening, this is just reassurance that you are still on the right path and the work of your spirit is being completed. And it's just a nudge. If you are realizing already, just roll with it and flow with it, and you will see that everything makes sense. But even if you don't realize it consciously right now, this is saying that, listen, it will all make sense. Okay, there is a purpose. You will become a certain person that is deserving of all the things you dream about. I hope that makes sense. That really wanted to needed clarification there. Okay. Oh my goodness. We have Falcon. Use your keen perception and skill in making decisions. Do not delay. So if you're at like a difficult crossroads, should I stay in this work? Should I go elsewhere? Do I really like this work? Should I switch fields or anything really? Life, career, love, anything at all, right? But I'm more so feeling not romantic necessarily. It can be people, but it's more about what you want to create. It's like you seek something, you have a vision, and you're wondering how you can bring that to fruition, right? From these cards. And all of them are like, make that choice, make that decision, use everything you have, and don't be shy, don't be afraid. Eagle and Falcon are like big soarers, right? They have heightened perception, they can see far and wide, they know when to attack, they are very astute, extremely smart, very quick, right? They have to be clever and strategic, and there's a lot about that going on. So yes, whatever switch you want to make, whatever decision you want to make, it necessarily is not easy, okay? I guess that's why you're watching this video as well, right? But it doesn't have to be. You will still need to make sure that you have a more objective perspective, of course, but also that objectivity is aligned with what you want to see for yourself in the future, because ultimately it is you who are living your life, no one else. So it doesn't matter in the bigger picture, and these two birds are about looking at the bigger picture. Okay, so there's the spirituality aspect of it. Maybe you're already getting guidance, and this is more of a confirmation in that case, right? But yeah, you're clever enough, you can observe enough, you have learned enough through your own observations. You know what is true and what is not in the deepest recesses of your mind and heart, and it's just about following through. You can move forward in a new direction if that's what you are seeking. I'm assuming that use your resources to create your dreams is just like you're embarking on a new chapter or a new phase in this chapter, right? So it's kind of like, don't be shy. No one here is shy. Yeah? It's and these birds also, they keep watch. So this reassurance is kind of like, regardless of, even if you're afraid of, like, if I choose this, what if it's a mistake? If you're so pulled and so called to make that decision towards that direction, then it's not a mistake. Okay? And these two birds here are keeping watch. Yeah, so this is basically saying that your guides are keeping watch and you're safe, you're fine. It's just that you have to be leading at this moment, and your guides can only do so much, right? They can't just bring and live your life for you. That's what I said. It's ultimately you living your life. They are going to help you. They're going to show you the way. They're going to, calm down when you get frazzled and make you happy when you're really sad, give you a reason to smile again, stuff like that. Yeah, they will bring you towards certain people who can convey their message to you, right? For example, here, or even someone else. They speak through your ancestors as well. So your grandma might say something which is absolutely on point, and even she doesn't know why she said it, right? They will communicate in many different ways, but the action needs to be happening from you. And this choice, the needing to move to create your dreams, whatever that dream is, it can be a house, it can be buying a car, or anything at all, really, anything at all, but it's something that is very, very true to you. And I'm guessing it's not a small insignificant thing that you're thinking about. I'm guessing it's not about buying a t-shirt, for example, right? It's something that is meaningful to you, and if it is that meaningful, you should go for it and not worry about the consequences, because they will take care of that. Consequences are not your business. Well, not in every situation, but you know what I mean, right? In this case, this is something that is so deep and true to you. You need to follow it through. It's like, make decision. Don't delay. Don't wait. Don't just take the leap, just go for it. And whatever happens next, you're still learning so much right now that it is only going to serve you well in the future. And the resources that we're talking about, this can be, like I said, different skill sets that is internal. Your capacity to handle certain type of stresses can increase through adversity, right? So the next time something like that happens, you've already advanced that level, so you can deal more, or you can use that talent in a different skill, in a different area. If you learned perseverance and tenacity in the last 2-3 years, then in the future you can use that to create your own business and follow through with it, right? Because the skill set is always transferable. So resources are you yourself, your own mind, your own capacity, and everything, right? And the external resources will just come to you. That's something that is, again, not your concern. Things beyond your control are not your concern. Okay? Even now, I can only work on delivering a good reading, whether it is your cup of tea or not, whether it resonates too much or not. That I cannot control and I cannot decide, right? So the only thing I can do here is do a good job. Yeah? Something like that. Okay. The distraction of shiny things. Shift the way to new potential. And we have rise. Oh, wow. Rise, well, again, right, that's pretty clear. Kind of like Phoenix from the ashes. Make a transformation. Shift your way to new potential. And don't get distracted by things that look good on the facade but aren't necessarily so inside, right? You need to let yourself fly. You need to look for what is deeper than that. Something more meaningful that gives you actually a deep satisfaction and new growth, new potential, new ideas, new everything, the type of people, the reality that you surround yourself with, that can be something completely different. And yes, it exists, right? All types of realities exist. There are so many people living a completely different life, which shapes their way of thinking and processing information from the outside. Yeah? So the change that you want to make is, of course, going to change your reality as well, but it is something that is in your best interest. You know that already. It's just an encouragement. Go ahead and do it. Okay? Don't get distracted by the promises that are too good to be true, or like, I don't know, they make it sound in your company or your college that, oh, if you don't do this, then, well, it's such a big problem. No, there are incentive 1, incentive 2, and another something there. to encourage you to keep doing what you're currently doing because it's just comfortable for everyone. Okay, but comfort is not really going to take you anywhere. It's not going to make you anything. So are you okay with that? It doesn't look like it, right? So it's just rise, get up, let's get moving. And you're ascending as well. This whole learning aspects of spiritual connection, again, it's like an ascension. You have learned a certain thing and you're building up on that. You have to practice it. That acts like a test, which you pass because you actually learned the skill, and therefore you move on to the next phase of your life. And then this next phase, you're going to be experiencing a deeper bliss. That's the intention, okay? But you have to, again, follow through with it. You have to walk towards it. You have to be wanting it enough that it can't help but be attracted to you. Right? You should work towards that bliss. You should want that bliss. You should already create that bliss in your life so much that you can't wait to have it. That you want it so much that you already have it in your mind. And that much faith and belief that happens, that's the aim, which then attracts you that bliss, that happiness, the peace, the dream that you want to chase. For some people, it can also be feelings, of course, like I just want peace in my life, It's, again, saying you can make it happen. Maybe some objectivity will help in this situation, right? If you're too close to something, it's very hard to come up with a solution. It happens to everyone. Our emotions always cloud the mental judgment. You can't always be logical. But when it is too complicated and too chaotic and frazzled, it becomes even more important to step out. Right? And look at it from a bigger picture. Okay. Then we have the 5 of Cups. We have the 6 of Swords. How beautiful. We have the 4 of Wands. We have the 5 of Pentacles. And we also have the 3 of Swords. Okay, so been through some stuff, I see. I'm just gonna keep this here. Been through some stuff, and it's difficult to get over sorrows, and for some of you there's loneliness or but with the 6 of Swords and the 4 of Wands, it's like, yeah, you know what? I cannot say that it is perfect right now. Why aren't you feeling it? I can see that it is not perfect. And whatever that missing thing is quite a big deal for you. Yeah? Whether it is a person that is not there in your life anymore, or a certain job, or a certain feeling, or anything at all. Okay? If you're feeling sad, heartbroken, alone, like no one understands you, and that you have to manage everything by yourself, and it's a lonely road, things like that, the meaningful things have gone away, and it's like you're trudging on this path, just carrying your own feelings and moving forward and keep moving forward. If this is what you're going through, then this 6 of Swords is just saying that, it is painful, I agree, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't make sense right now, but it surely will. Okay, it will. Because the person you became while you dealt with all of this is something extremely beautiful and necessary. Okay? So, 6 of Swords is just the universe is guiding you. Keep looking for the light. You cannot lose hope. Okay? You cannot lose hope. Might be hard to do, but you cannot do that. Okay? Keep moving. There is light. It will open up. You will see. This does not mean you have not suffered and that you don't feel pain anymore and that everything will just vanish and everything will just be rainbows and sunshine. No, not necessarily, but you will know how to get there. You will see the hope that you keep inside you in the external world. And when you go through such and such, that much is enough, right? And the rest will come. I'm not saying rainbows will never happen, but this is the first step to be transitioning out into something brighter, which has a new potential, which gives you a new platform, when you start to feel different and you start to do things differently that make you, again, feel differently as compared to now. So follow that, and the universe is always guiding you with the Six of Swords, always. And the Four of Wands is you getting stability, you feeling joyful and having a reason to celebrate, achieving something. It's not the ultimate goal, but you achieve something. You reach to a certain stage, you become something that is worth being joyous for. That is your reason to celebrate, okay? That's the Four of Wands. You can spend time with some real friends. For some people, like, you're losing some friends, right? And it seems like, oh, am I going to be alone now? But no, you are, by losing, you are actually keeping in your life what is true, what works. After the Six of Swords, you have a renewed appreciation for every little thing. You start to notice the littler things, therefore enhancing your perception in general, your observation skills in general. There's just a lot of growth, and you will see that, and you will recognize them for what they are. You can't just be like, yeah, well, I grew a little bit, whatever. You're not going to downplay it. You will respect it so much more. Gratitude is not just saying, oh, thanks for that. No, gratitude is actually deep down feeling it, that yes, I am really thankful to have this person, this thing, this life, this feeling, this, to be able to see this wonderful scenery, anything, right now. I'm so happy and thankful to be here at this time. Similarly, you will feel that for the situations you went through. If I had not gone through that, I would not have understood this today. I would not have noticed this today. And you will know how, because the people around you have not necessarily gone through the same things, right? Or the same feelings. And they will not notice that one little thing that you do that makes you really happy. They might not understand it, and therefore you lose certain people, whatever the case is. But because you can notice by comparison when you talk to them that, oh wow, they don't even notice that, They don't understand the bliss that I'm feeling right now. They are also feeling happy when they see a nice, wonderful scenery, beautiful sunset or sunrise or whatever. That's also happy, and everyone feels good looking at that. But the way everyone feels good and to what extent is always different, right? And you will start noticing that a lot more in your immediate environment. And that is just going to show you that you are rising. You are actually ascending. And you don't have a greed that goes along with that. You don't have pride either. You're happy, you're thankful, you're very, very grateful, you feel honored. And you also carry with you the strengths you learned from the adversities. You will not discount the adversity, but you will respect it for what it was. Okay? And again, even if things don't make sense right now, they will. You are moving on, you're moving forward, and your guides are watching you, your friends, your spiritual friends, ancestors, etc., your own higher self, your own spirit is watching you. It's just saying, go, 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 keep going. Okay? Let's get you some affirmations. You can keep repeating them, of course, until you start believing. Some people choose to, work that way. So if that's how you operate with manifestation, you can always use these words. Okay, I recognize that I have chosen fear, and I choose again. I choose love. Yeah, this card does not come up very often, and whenever it does, it is usually for people who are really going through a tough time, and the toughness of the situation cannot be discounted, okay? No one is saying, hey, why are you feeling this way? They're saying, yes, you are feeling this way, but you can choose to not continue, How much attention do you want to give to certain things? It's kind of like that. Do you use everything you got to think otherwise? Because really, from a bigger picture here, it is showing you the path ahead. The pain builds you. The hurt, the loss, builds you. And whatever you become next is going to attract a new life for you. And this is where you're going to be happy. Okay? But in order to become that, you have to go through it. Alright? But no. Wow. Okay. My energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. I honestly did not see the cards before. I don't know why there was so much. I mean, sure, there's like you creating your dreams, new potential. So it makes sense that the manifestation thing is a concept. But yes, you can keep reminding yourself that. Yeah, so these are like affirmations and reminders. Okay? It's just you're creating your own reality. So what is your decision now? What do you want to pay attention to next? If you pull yourself out of your emotions for a while, what do you see? Who have you become? I was reading this in Deep Stash. I don't know if you have it, but it's an app and it's like random little bite-sized informative stuff. I guess it also depends what you follow, but I follow a psychology thing. And in that it says that people who talk about themselves in the third person, their decision making is different. I didn't read the whole thing. I just saw that and I thought, that's interesting. But it's like you're able to process things differently because you kind of answer to your suffering less personally, so you're able to see clearly, you're able to think clearly, so maybe that would help if you talk about yourself in a third person. Yeah, I hope it's not a weird advice, but I read it, so I thought I would let you know. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Pile 2. Thank you so much for being here, and if you want a personal reading, you can always reach me via my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box in the comments below. And yeah, feel free to check out any of my other videos. Until next time, take care. Bye. Hi Pile 3, welcome to your reading. We're going to get some messages from your spiritual squad. We'll do the feather messages and then we'll move on to the other cards, okay? So we have first the Cardinal. Stand tall and proud. See the leadership role unfolding ahead of you. Okay, so this can be leader in a career thing, but also it can be taking initiative in your life. Okay, we'll see. We have Pelican. Choose to follow the path of forgiveness and raise your vibration. This is forgiving your own flaws as well for some people. Forgiving other people, different situations. Yes, forgiving is just a point of acceptance and not allowing other external factors to impact your internal world. Okay, so it's kind of goes hand in hand in this with this card. Okay, we have inherent wisdom is emerging at this time. Watch it and ready yourself for a rebirth. That's Peacock. And we have the Hawk. Pay attention. A powerful message is being communicated to you now. Okay. I'm trying to feel the vibe. For some reason, it's not relatable to me. Okay. So I have to... It does make sense. It's a serious vibe, right? And it's a whole multitude of stuff. There is emotions, there is spiritual growth, your own personal growth, and also in a worldly sense. It looks as though there are 3 things that are happening at the same time, and as though there is a feeling of crucial at the moment. Okay? But I don't know in what sense, so we're going to see the other cards and we'll... Okay, what's your honest truth? I've never gotten this card. Okay. Then we have fierce serenity. The good kind. Why are your squad people, entities, so cryptic? Oh my god. Okay, we're going to just read from the book for your reading, okay? I need to know. Okay. Fierce serenity. It is a quality that's embodied by the peaceful warrior and by the majestic beauty of a resting lion. It's a feeling of power. I'm just going to hold it up so you can see the imagery as well. It's a feeling of power and one of flexible calmness in the center of a raging storm. Regardless of any fear or vulnerability that you are feeling right now, this card reminds you that you're strong enough to handle the situation. Stand up for yourself with love and courage and insist on integrity, both from yourself and from others. When the world around you is challenging your inner peace, what gives you strength amid uncertainty? Root deeply into that truth, as being fiercely grounded will change the outcome of your current events. Now is not the time for brute force. Lead with love. The gentle serenity you project will be a steady force that will allow you to remain unshakable. Channel your love from the center of a pure heart and bless the quiet strength of your soul. It will prevail when it is given the chance to shine in the face of adversity. Now there are some questions for you. How would your situation change if you let go of the small stuff? What are some of your must-haves and what can you compromise on? The peaceful warrior archetype whispers through the actions of extraordinary people like Gandhi, Mother Teresa, and Martin Luther King Jr. Is there someone who represents fierce serenity to you? We all have this energy in us. Where can you welcome more of it into your life? Okay. Then we have 20. What's your honest truth? Okay, let's hold this up. We hold on to many layers of truth. Truths we learned from our parents, the ones we've learned during lived experiences, and the ones that our ego holds on to in order to lovingly protect us from the world. You've outgrown a layer, and it's time to do some shedding in order to curate the best framework for your future. At the base of all your learned truths lies a different sort of truth, an underlying true essence. And this core foundation is refusing to be refusing to be quieted or ignored any longer. You will hear it clearly now, as an old truth has become too small for your expanding life. Perhaps a soul purpose, a sacred contract, or a destiny is unveiling your truest true or your honest truth. Perhaps it is reminding you now that you are here for a reason. When you strip it all down to the soul, what work are you being called to do? And why are you here at this time? Then we have these questions again. Do you believe soul purposes can change and evolve over time? What were you doing the last time you felt insecure or inauthentic? And what do you do or think to create that situation? Sorry, I can't read. The phone is a little bit farther from me. How do you feel when you are most authentically you? Is there a negative belief about yourself or about your abilities that is holding you back? A story about circumstance? How can you tap into the infinite nature of your soul and shift your thinking on this? Okay. Oh God, I told you it is crucial, it is serious. Okay, the good kind. Sweet spirit. Why are you working so hard? Really? What do you hope to gain in your current situation? Money, security, notoriety, love, acceptance, worthiness, growth? What are you working to find? Alongside whatever word your subconscious mind served up for you, add these two words, goodness and kindness. Allow these good old-fashioned vibrations to cut through the fog of your worries and let them lead you as you do the work. We get a massive energetic upgrade when we witness and partake in simple virtuous gestures, and we undervalue them all the time. Allow them to be an important part of the solution. Goodness asks you to seek simple joys, to unplug, and to do something because it's the right thing to do, not because of what you will gain. Kindness asks you to help someone out just because, to look at potential instead of flaws, to listen with an open heart, to witness without judgment. Modern society can often paint these virtues as naive, superficially light on love, or even insincere. But whoa, my goodness, genuine goodwill and selflessness always open the most rewarding doors. Try some good and kind on for size, because they may be way more fresh and alive than you remember. And they are always, always the good kind of undertaking. How can you lift yourself by lifting others? It's time to do the work, the good work. What does this mean to you? How can you shift focus from the metrics, the tech, the marketing, the drama, and the complex, and find a simple option that is rooted in kindness and goodness? You know, I really want to say that that was very well summarized and kind of delivers the reading. But I suppose I have to move on to the other cards. But just to summarize, it's asking you to lead your tomorrow, not in a way that is materially significant only. It's kind of asking you to not focus on that right now. So whenever that is a message, it usually means that it's taken care of. That's not the focus. That's not what you should be concerned about, okay? That's why those type of messages do not come, yeah? So seeing that there is a lot of internal, external, everything kind of like, there's work, there's family, there is this, that, right? It seems like everything will change when you change. The longer you keep doing this, whatever thing you're doing, like the tech metrics thing, if this is more related with work, then it's going to be about productivity and the numbers, right? And if it is in terms of how you deal with people, then there is always like an impression we want to create. There is always a mask that is being created, right? I mean, it's natural. It's natural. That is also true. But you need to once in a while, strip back, keep going. If something is feeling unpleasant and chaotic and too much, then there is a reason why. And there is also a solution to the problem. But the solution usually comes in our personal lives when we actually go deep down and we focus. Otherwise, it's just the same problem that is being propagated in many different areas of life till you finally, 10 years from now, notice that, hey, maybe something is wrong, and hence you have the midlife crisis, right? Nobody wants that. So this is an encouragement that everything, all these areas of life can be fixed and dealt with much easier, and you can deal with it. You do have the capacity for it. And you can create a different world for you, but all of that can be dealt with by you and by going and figuring out what is it in this external world that is reflective of what's happening within you, right? If you're taking a materialistic outlook on life, then you're going to receive materialistic people, which then finally at some point you do realize that, hey, I worked so far and so much for this, but I still don't feel happy and I still don't feel blessed, Do I really have anything of value? Does that really matter? Why did I bust myself so much and put my own dreams in the back burner, Like, it's very painful. I can imagine in hindsight, if you know all this, then it's just regret. It's harder and harder and harder to practice acceptance, even of yourself, because you know that you were the one who ignored the call. You were the one who did not follow through. You were the one who did not look deep enough, even though you could have, right? And regret is hell. You don't need to go to literal hell at any point, because that's what happens. Because at every point it's kind of like, I did this to myself. That's such an insult to your own spirit, right? You feel hurt. No one needs to say anything. The entire world can be amazing and wonderful and just perfect on textbook, but does it feel that way inside? If it doesn't, then it doesn't matter, no? So it is a nudge that, hey, there will be consequences in you. No, your spirit team does not want you to be sad, ever. They always try to help you and show you that, hey, if you do this, it might help. It would help. Try it. Don't worry about the rest. You have worked long and hard enough, and you will receive the returns for so and so things. It will happen. It's karmically due, right? At some point, it has to show up in one way or the other. So don't worry about what you have done and when the results will arrive or what the outcome will be. And by not seeing the outcome, you work a lot harder in order to forcibly see the outcome much earlier than it's supposed to come. No, have a little bit more of a faith in yourself, yeah? And trust in the flow of your own spiritual growth and also in your spirit team, okay? This honest truth is, I think, to discover your spirit in a deeper way, to create a bonding, okay? It has the answer. You need to go to it and ask it. Choose to follow the path of forgiveness. If you're struggling to let go of a certain thing, it can even be a manifestation thing for some of you, but yeah, that's very few, okay? But this forgiveness is a point of acceptance, right? That's what I told you in the beginning. That acceptance can happen only when you really understand. In order to really understand, you have to get out of your own way. If you're not able to do that, there are so many practices out there. You can choose any form of meditation. That always helps. You can pray if you pray and just sit in silence and just talk to God, talk to the universe, just talk to it, the thin air, just at the wall or something. If you want to vent, you can vent for a while, but then keep going and get to the point, get deeper. Why am I feeling so aggravated at so-and-so person or situation or anything? Why? And how can I fix it? How can I actually deal with it? Because I don't want to keep facing the same thing again and again and again and again in every other situation that I face, right? Nobody needs that. The moment when you feel that I just will not accept it. It's not a question, it's not a request, it's not a begging to anyone or anything. I will not accept this type of life. I'm done. That's when you're serious about it then, right? You're really serious about it. And this is kind of getting to that nitty-gritty, discovering what you're extremely serious about, and is something that is bigger than your ego's satisfaction or desires. Ego is really great, okay? You need a personal sense of identity, of course, in order to survive here. But to yourself, why do you need an ego? Right? When you're just with yourself, you can be brutally honest with you. Doesn't mean that you need to actively seek criticism from yourself and just hate yourself. That's not what I'm saying at all. But if you're feeling upset, acknowledging that you're feeling upset for a certain reason, which maybe you cannot tell other people, but you can of course tell yourself. If you're not honest with yourself, how well, it's necessary. That's all I'm trying to say. You have to be very honest with you. For example, many people have a lot of trouble admitting that they felt embarrassed in a certain situation. But embarrassing things happen with everyone, and there is no need to not admit it. Again, with others, sure, that's a different thing. There is a lot of external situation going on, but to yourself, you can just be like, I felt embarrassed by this situation. I should have studied more, and I should have known the answer, and I was too flustered. I should not. Why do I feel so not confident about myself? I know the stuff. Why am I not able to present it? Just when you keep asking this and you just very honestly bare yourself to you can always find the solution. Maybe not immediately, but you will within that month. Because you're asking seriously, and the universe hears. It will deliver the answer. Okay? If it is seeking the small pleasures like the good kind says, then seek the small pleasures. Find that internal bliss which allows you more capacity to deal with other things more compassionately and yet taking your stand. You don't need to be aggressive, right? With anything. If you want to switch your field, it's just time to start exploring what else is out there. What do I like? In order to find out what you like, you have to explore. You have to try out different new things and see what sticks with you, what gives you a certain feeling, a wonderful, peaceful, pleasurable feeling at that moment. Yeah? Okay. And once you find it, even though it seems very small and as though I cannot be seeking all that, it obviously affects your internal world, which means it obviously affects the external as well. Okay? That's because that's how you believe, that's how you conduct yourself, and I don't need to tell you about manifestation. Right? Okay. Move on to your tarot cards. I'm going to move these aside, actually. Oh, wow. Oh, goodness. We have the Tower. First card out. We have Knight of Wands. I'm feeling really good about the Tower, actually. The Fool. Yes. Ace of Cups. How wonderful. Nine of Wands. Accurate. And we have the Ten of Wands. Yes. Where was this? All this work that you're doing. Why are you doing that? Yeah, the good kind, right? This is kind of resonating with that. You've carried on so many responsibilities and you have shouldered so many burdens. This can come as obligations, like family-wise or society-wise or whatever the case is. It can come through the form of obligations, but you choosing to carry it is also something. And you cannot just be like, oh no, I do not have a choice. Maybe not like, okay, well, you know what, from now on I will not care about you. Not in that way, but you can deal with it in different ways, right? And that's going to be personal for everyone. Like I said, your spirit knows the answer, and the answer is kind of waiting to be delivered to you personally. Yeah, so zone into your own spirit, basically, right? Okay, so don't need to carry so many things. Share the load if you can. Put some down, the things that are not as much prioritized for you. Travel light, okay? Nine of Wands is about persevering through anything and everything. And through those adversities and perseverance, you turn into this wonderful flower. You turn into you bloom and you blossom, right? Your spirit then comes out and it plays and it actually leads the life that it wanted to in the first place. Ace of Cups, whenever it comes in a spiritual reading, it is your spirit squad sending you a lot of love. And this is because this is pure love. Pure, completely untainted, completely unconditional. Okay? So it's like they're saying, first of all, we love you. Okay, you're safe, you're protected, you're fine. You will persevere through whatever you're going through. You will blossom. You will become a fuller version of you. But there are roadblocks that you're dealing with, but you will be able to deal with everything. So you don't need to worry about that. Okay? The Fool is starting a completely new chapter. That and the Tower being the two major arcanas is like, if this hasn't happened already, you are going to receive an epiphany, and it is going to change things. You will want to change things. This is not a forced anything. Okay, this is going to be your choice. You will be the one leading the show in this new chapter. We have the Lion energy, we have the Cardinal as well. This is a lot of Leo-centric already. And the Fool as well, I will take the leap, I will take the jump. Explorer is as well very proactive and wants to go on every adventure. Doesn't need anything solid in order to go for whatever drives them, their passion, their ambition, right? So you could be a Leo or have a lot of planets in Leo, but doesn't have to be anyway. It's just this fiery phase that is coming where you are in charge. Okay, so this Tower can be a sudden recognition of something that you have been seeking, and it now makes sense. It's kind of like you have all these separate pieces of the puzzle and you have one missing, so the picture cannot be completed. And with the Tower, you receive that one missing puzzle, and all of these different areas of life, internal, external, everything, are just going to come into place, and you will, in 1 second, in a minute even, you will just put all of these different areas of life together. and it will all make sense. Okay, and you will know what to do next. You will know where to go next. There will be a sudden discovery, right? And this, yeah, I'm here. You don't need to. You don't need to be afraid at all. This there will be change, but this change is going to help you. Okay, it is going to refill your heart, your joy, your zest, your passion for life, your quest. Okay, and the more luggage you carry, the harder it is going to be, and you don't need to do that. Instead, cut through the things that are not necessary, reprioritize, and make it very clear, as in the best way that you can, in the time that you can. No development is done overnight, so this is not an expectation from you to, get it done by tomorrow, although it is something that you need to know and keep in mind in order to eventually do it, right? So it's kind of like keep going, keep going, keep going. You are doing really great. There's this rebirth thing coming up as well, right? This Fool here is like a completely new beginning, right? Full of hope and optimism and joy and ready to take a shot. This is about leaping into the unknown and keeping faith that the universe will catch you. And that plus the Ace of Cups is just like, you are safe. Of course you are safe. And you know that in your spirit, your soul. And if you can't feel it right now, when you get inwards, you will see it. Okay? You will feel it. Even if you, again, out to the walls or something, just say, help me, I'm stuck here, you will get your answer. You will be receiving synchronicities. 10, 10, 1, 1, 0, 0. Things like that. There's zeros and ones. Okay? And of course you can see any of these birds. A lion. Yeah. And you know what else I love is that the elements are so balanced. We have a lot of ones though, but it's kind of a denser vibe to a lighter vibe, and we have Ace of Cups kind of protecting you. That's very nice. It's not pentacles, it's not stable, but again, it's kind of like a transition. It's a reason to shift and reason to create something more. Seek what makes you very, very passionate and creative and imaginative and bold. The Explorer of Wands is not a true leader, but wants to be a leader. It wants to create that thing and therefore tries to mimic the higher suits, right? The Queen and the King of Wands. This is a Knight of Wands, by the way. He or she, the explorer, will basically seek to be that leader position already. They're not there yet. They're still experiencing things, but they are confident that they will make it because they have confidence on their side. And they love what they're doing, so they cannot just stop, right? It's a fuel. There is new fuel that, pushes you forward. And it doesn't matter what things come your way because you will surpass them. Your squad's helping you and also your spirit. Mostly in this case, it's your spirit that wants to talk to you. That's why for you guys, heavily I'm getting that you need to go within. Okay, and you need to feel that you have this love thing that you seek outwards already inside you. You need to discover it. And because of external disturbances and other situations you're going through, you're feeling like, for some people this can be like putting up a wall. It's as though to protect yourself you need to put up a wall. And yes, for some people, yes, but are you tolerating a lot of these people? Is it getting in the way of the rest of your day? Do you feel as though you are protecting yourself, but at the same time you don't feel safe either? Like, do you still keep thinking about such people or such situations even when you're not talking or interacting with it, right? That's something to ask yourself as well. I was getting something else. Yeah, also if you defend yourself too much in any way, like that defense of putting up the wall and turning a cold shoulder, all those things inclusive, if you do that, more than is constructive for you, then you end up blocking yourself to your own pure voice. Okay, your spirit's voice, that is. And it's kind of like your spirit can't help you with dealing with everything. So as soon as you can, and as much as you can, make it a practice. You will receive the answers quite quickly. And I'm feeling this only for your pile, right? The Tower, of course, is there, but it's not just one thing that is going to be clear for you. Every time you meditate, at least for the entire next month, you will receive answers very clearly. And you will put them into practice because it's your own spirit saying it, and it just rings true to a very deep level. The moment you practice it, you will see the effect of it. The change that happens from this epiphany is going to be quite obvious for you. And then, of course, then it's like a domino effect. The trust builds, and you keep listening, and then you keep working, and that's it. Then you're on the path, no? Yeah, so this is what the thing is. Wow. Okay, we have a lot of affirmations for you. 3, actually. So let's see what we have. I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. This is an affirmation, all of these 3 cards, so you can keep repeating them in order to manifest this feeling within you, but this is also like a reminder. The spirit team is kind of trying to tell you that. Okay, so find deeper meaning and personal growth. You're growing, and there is like a new beginning coming up, and it is not uncomfortable. Growth is not comfortable. I mean, remember puberty, right? But doesn't mean that, it's not necessary, that you will not blossom out of it. You definitely will. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. This is more of an encouragement to go ahead and do something that makes you feel passionate and joyful and happy deep down. It's a very pure and innocent type of love for whatever you're doing. So it can be even building Legos, it can be anything simple. Just getting into that vibe then is really important. That way you can then, from that feeling, start creating more feelings like that, right? In something every day. So it's kind of like work on your passions, do something that makes you feel good, and move forward from that dream of a life that would make you happy a lot, and the universe is going to deliver. It will come true. You don't need to worry about that. Okay. I witness the darkness and call on the light with my prayer. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. The teacher of the love is the universe itself and your spirit. Okay? Your spirit is love itself, and the teacher of love would be the universe. It's kind of like the whole connectedness of you with a bigger picture becomes very clear when you do that, right? That's why the meditation and the prayers and stuff like that. So it's like call on to the light with your prayers that, thanks for the message, please can I have some? Thank you in advance, and please let me know ASAP. I usually don't thank beforehand. I'm just like, hey, I'm going through this. Can you help, please? Any advice would be very helpful. Thank you so much. And then, advice comes. There is clarity. I take some steps, and the taking of steps itself is a time-taking thing. It's not the epiphany or the realization. It will come the moment you're ready to receive it, and the action taking then takes a few months, and then I'm like, okay, hey, thanks, that worked. So again, encouragement to pray and meditate. Great. So that's what I have for you. Pile 3 went on a bit longer, but you guys needed it. And if you want a personal reading, you can always reach me via my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box and the comment below. And if you want to check out any of my other videos, feel free to do so. I will see you some other time. Take care. Bye. Hi Pile 4, welcome to your reading. We're going to see what your spiritual squad is trying to tell you. So the messages, we'll first look at the feathers, and then we'll move on to the rest. Okay, we have Robin. New growth and potential is on the horizon. Reach out and embrace it. Okay, things flowing towards you. That's always nice to hear. And we also have Turkey, which is honor your own time of harvest. Offer your gifts and blessings as service to the greater good. And we also have Nuthatch, stay grounded and welcome the new knowledge and perspective coming to you. So there can be like a new job coming towards you, or if you finish your studies and you want to do an internship or job training, whatever that you want, there is potential for that coming in soon, and this is going to be in your alignment, so accept it whenever it comes. If you have been trying hard for a long time and it's still not happening and you don't know why, this is just saying that there is divine timing at play. So yes, you have done the work, but it doesn't, for example, if you finish learning certain lessons before the time period, or this earlier expected time period or something, then you kind of have to wait till your gifts are ready to come, right? It's not only dependent on you. We live in a world which is surrounded by a lot of different types of people and a lot of different systems, so things need some time to happen. It's the external that needs more work, the physical world, the material setup with all the hierarchies and systems, that's what takes a longer time, right? So if you have learned your lessons and you're doing your job and whatever it is that you're doing, it's just saying that there will be new things coming in, and don't worry that your efforts are not being answered or they're not being rewarded, because it will happen. It will bring you the blossoms that you seek, because you have put in the foundation for it. It's just a thing of timing. Okay. What else? Yeah, okay, let's move on to the next cards. We have Creator Air. So this is about speech. It's about thinking, choosing your words carefully, being strategic about stuff, kind of being curious as well, paying attention, staying focused. These type of things, the more mental processes are governed by air. So this knowledge, perspective, things like that. Air is also more objective, so I'm guessing that this is not something that is very, I don't know, I don't want to use the word personal, but for example, let's say it is a job. Okay, that's just an easier example here. Let's say it's a job. You know that the job is not equal to your life, but having a job and having an income is of course going to, put other things in order. And if you're already working, then this is about, like, you want to get a certain job, you get that certain job, and then it changes the way you think. You have to, for example, learn a lot of new things in this new place. So those type of things. Okay, so a lot about mental engagement. That is the time right now that is kind of coming through. So the more now that you're aware of it, you can already start embracing that type of way of being, because then whenever the opportunity comes, you know exactly what you should be saying yes to, right? So curiosity, that's something. Research, that's as well related with air. Yeah, any type of communication. Yeah. So if this new job, for example, is quite different from what you're doing right now, it is still growth, it is still new potential. So it's just saying accept it, reach out, and even if it is stepping out of your current zone, it is still going to, grow you a lot. And yes, you will take some time to learn certain things, but you will also bear the fruits of all your labors. If you can help some other people, go ahead and do that with your advice, with your experience, with your own outlook, anything. And stay curious and stay open-minded. Staying grounded means that you have a good handle on what is for you and what is not, right? This comes from a place of internal security and safety, and it's also about not being very reactive, but rather more absorbing, more flowing with, not resisting anything. Okay, it's just buckling down and going with what comes. Yeah, okay, we have changes. Yeah. And we also have creator water. Yeah, we were talking about flowing with, right? That's water. for you, more like what is ringing true to you and what is not. That's also part of being grounded. And how can you know that is when it feels correct, right? Like, yeah, I should be working on my mental processes at the moment. I should be working on logic or anything, whatever this work is just going to come to you. It's something that is happening. Transformation is occurring, and you are going to be growing from this. It's just asking you, don't resist, please don't resist, and just absorb as much information as you can. Be a sponge for new insights, new knowledge, new perspective, new opportunities and people. Okay? You have to learn. There is a critical attitude that needs to be maintained, of course, but at the same time, that should not be stopping you from going towards things that you like, things that feel correct at this time. Sometimes what feels correct is not necessarily our passion, but it is also something that we feel dutiful to do, right? So if you're struggling with building boundaries, let's say, then you know that, you should be working on that. Whether you admit that to other people or not, you yourself know it. Yeah. So that's something we need to observe, we need to learn, we have to understand from the people we see around us, from some papers we read, some books we read, whatever it is, which can help us develop that sense of good boundaries. So it's not your passion to be creating healthy boundaries, but it is something important to you, and it will be important to your growth in the future as well, right? So that is more of a dutiful transformation. It's something that needs to happen. So if you have been staying stagnant a lot at home, because of COVID or some other reason, this here is saying that stagnation is not going to remain, and whatever is coming next, go with it and learn from it. Okay, changes are happening. Okay, let's get to your tarot. We have the Fool, the first card. That's like new beginning, right? Full of new opportunities and potential. That's literally the Robin card right there. Keep hope and faith in what is to happen. Nothing is going to oppose your dream, your true dream at all. Rather, it is going to make you more fitting for that final dream, that final canvas. Okay, so leap into the unknown, and this it's not exactly an unknown in your case actually, but it is a new thing, and you don't know how exactly everything is going to work out, and you're going with a fresh mindset, but it's kind of like be open to possibilities. Okay, a new path lies ahead. Will you leap? That's something I hear. We have 8 of Swords. Don't constrain yourself. We have 6 of Wands. You will be successful. You will be celebrated for the work you've done. Again, if you've already put in the work, then this is talking about the rewards will come. So if you have been making a lot of applications, then you will hear a response from someone. At least you will get an interview, if actually it's possible to get more. But yeah, this talks about success, being celebrated. You're in the limelight. In some way or the other. This is also the social media influencer card, so if that's something you want to do and it's something completely new and you're blocking yourself again and again, then this is kind of like strategize, plan your way around, and just go with the flow, make the changes. There will be more things coming in once you start moving. Okay, you will be celebrated. I was getting something else. Admiration. And also, this is saying that in the new job or new potential, new growth that is there, whether it can be even shifting your house to a completely new locality, and that just changes your entire perspective, right? Everything actually, not just anything, everything affects the way that we perceive certain things. So this new beginning is going to bring you respect. What was I saying? Goodness. I know you remember, but it's like I'm thinking, because it's a flow. It's coming to my mind and I have to speak it, but before I can speak it, that's the next thought as well. Right, so you will be good at this new phase. Yes, that's the point. You'll be good at it. Okay, we have Ace of Cups. This is the support of the universe. It's a very pure, joyful state, and this is kind of, again, keeping a very optimistic heart within you and moving to this new state with that renewed sense of love and passion for something. It is a more gentle vibe in your reading. Okay, so it's more like a nudge, come on, just go with it. Yeah, it's coming. Don't worry about it. It's a very calming, soothing feel. Ace of Cups is, I said this in pile 3 as well, they also got this. It's all about divine love. It's kind of, first of all, we love you and you are safe and protected. You are loved and you don't need to be fearful of anything. Your heart can give forever. You should not, you don't need to, but if you were to love, you love unconditionally. That's the thing, right? Anything that you love, anything that you try to create is born of pure love, and that is something that can be sustained forever. Right, that's the motto of this card. So that's something in a spiritual reading, them sending love towards you, and love builds support within us, right? That gives us a renewed sense of, okay, I can face this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. That's how powerful it can be. But it has to be the real one, not just sending a text SMS or something, right? So spiritual love is a whole other level, forget human. But this is also about this new thing is going to make you feel really good and blissful. If not the job or the study directly, then this is about it gives you more time in order to, do other things that you like. It gives you more flexibility. So you just go with it and see what comes, Do the work, of course, but it's just alerting you that there are some new things coming in, and it is going to be for your best. Don't stop yourself and don't deny yourself any blessings, because you deserve all the wonderful things that you have set your intentions towards. We also have the High Priestess. This is meditate. Your higher self is trying to help you quite strongly. This is your own spirit as well. Ace of Cups is the heart of pure love, and that's where the spirit sits. And the High Priestess is about being aware of that, the innermost workings of you, and realizing that you're not limited to this body. You're also more than that. And how can you work with all these different facets, these spiritual entities that want to talk to you? You can receive a lot of insights, especially if you meditate at night or something, anytime that you feel relaxed, actually. But it's just speaking that you don't need to know every little detail, and a lot is unknown. It is not going to be unveiled to you immediately, but if you listen very, very close, you will know where to go. Your intuition will tell you, and you will not have proof for why did you choose to go a certain way, or why do you suddenly trust something so much. You will not know why directly, but you will see that you are correct in thinking the way you are. That was a channeled thing. Oh, channeling messages, that's as well a High Priestess quality. So you can just randomly get a lot of information, and that just shows you, hey, oh yeah, I could definitely try that. Maybe I should, pursue this particular hobby, or I had received that email, maybe I should just reply and see what that's all about, Something like that. There will be some guidance, and it is going to be undeniable. We also have Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, this is for most of you about work, but also it's like you have to put in the work and, take the actions. It's not something that is perfected overnight. It's just the beginning things, like it's new growth and you're still learning things. So you don't have to worry about the final goal at all. The bee here just does the work. It's not about the outcome so much. It knows that when you do the work, the outcome will come, right? So it doesn't have to actively keep thinking about, oh, but will it come? Will it happen? Will I build the hive? Of course I will. If I'm gonna, work on it, I will build the hive and I will get the nectar. It's like that. The rewards are obvious, so you don't need to be concerned about that. Rather, it's just do one thing every day that leads you to the best version that you can be, the best version of the work you can produce, the love you can give, etc. It depends on what your priority is, what you're intending for, what you're wishing for, what you're going through, all of those things. Okay, so let it resonate wherever it does. Okay, but for a lot of you, it is this year. Work can be about love as well, if you're like trying to attract like really serious love, you know, like you're tired of the whole pastime dating type of thing. This is a very pure one, so if that's what you're trying to create, then it's definitely possible. 6 of Wands is success in all areas of life. It's just don't cage yourself in self-limiting beliefs. That's the one thing which is just saying, don't do that, please. You know, your manifestations are wanting to come. Let's move ahead, go with the flow, see the opportunities and walk towards it and learn about it. There's a non-attachment feeling. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. Oh goodness, I was getting that feeling from the beginning. That's why I kept taking pauses. Now it makes sense. You're flowing with it. There's no resistance because there's no heaviness. It's not a big expectation that you have. It's just something, you know, you want, you wish, and you have been working towards something as well. Again, all of you will not be working towards it, but those of you who are, there is still just, you know, the dutiful thing, and also because it's a duty thing, you know that it's just something that needs to be done, and you don't need to be getting so emotionally attached to a certain thing, right? That's for some. And also, what was I getting? And some of you have already learned that the bees lesson, basically, that if you put in the work, the rewards will come. So you have reached that point of non-attachment, and that's what is bringing all of these in. Okay? So your squad's kind of sending you all this love and just admiration that, hey, good job, and keep rolling, keep going with the flow, and the changes are coming. The transformation you've been seeking are on the way. Okay? Yes. I'm so relieved that I could get that out. It would keep nagging me if I would not have. Okay, Elder of Cups. This is reaching a sense of maturity in your way of being compassionate and empathetic, the way that you process your internal emotions, and therefore how you understand other people's emotions. So your emotional quotient is rising, and also this is kind of a very compassionate, I was getting a very soft and gentle vibe, right? So your guide, apart from your higher self, the guide, I'm getting guide. You have a guide, and this guide is very, very compassionate, very gentle, sits you down real nice and explains things to you, and it all just makes sense. And even the harsher things, they can put it very simply, neatly, and lovingly. Okay? So there is no need to be afraid. If you are afraid, reach out to your guides. Don't be shy. It's just, they will always be there. And the way they try to get your attention is through your heart. If you feel a random, your heartbeat just speeds up a little bit randomly, then it's time to pay attention. That's something, if you feel full in your heart at any point when you see something really beautiful and it just kind of overwhelms you, that overwhelm, it doesn't have to be just beautiful, but in all cases, if there are any overwhelming things and it is not triggered by external circumstances, then pay attention, try to go within, because something is trying to communicate itself to you. Okay? But it comes always from a place of love. It will not be something that causes fear within you. Fear is usually created by the external things, right? That's why I said that heartbeat raising and you feel overwhelmed with love, things like that. Whenever that happens, it's just your guide trying to get your attention. Whenever you're going through a tough time and you feel that, it's their way of consoling you, because they cannot be physically there with you to support you through everything, right? So this is just their way of showing that, you know what, you're not alone. We love you no matter what. And you can do it. Just keep going. You're about to be successful here. New things are coming in. Yeah, I'm getting more that this is the guide being embodied. Perhaps you have already connected with them, and this is a way for you to identify that, hey, this is, yes, this is who I talk to, or something. Yeah, but also higher self, by the way. Your higher self is kind of no BS, wants to get this life's purpose done, that type of vibe. It's like success will come, but it is not, again, it's not a chasing and a desperate type of vibe. It's very receptive. So new growth is coming, you embrace it, don't resist it, just let it come. Perspective, keep your mind open, allow it to reach you, feel things, feel love, feel appreciation and gratefulness. Each time, be open, mentally, emotionally, and also spiritually. Things are coming, okay? Alright, let's get your affirmations / reminders. When I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. Exactly. Knowing that you can do, this is like gaining that strength, getting that backup from the universe and knowing, hey, okay, well, if I'm loved by the universe, I don't need to worry about anything, right? It's like becoming a child and also taking ownership all simultaneously, right? If you don't relate already, I'm sorry, but I cannot explain it any differently. That's just the feeling, right? It kind of feel fuzzy that, hey, okay, the universe has my back. That is so sweet. Thank you so much. But at the same time, it's like I owe it to the universe to do a good job, because ultimately I need to become one with it, So there is both these sentiments kind of coexisting. That's what I'm feeling here. That you kind of need to walk towards that. Eventually, it's not a short-term thing, it's a longer-term thing, but it's kind of like when you have faith and you trust that information is coming and you are learning and kind of learn the way of your conversation with your higher self, your spirit, your guides, you will always know where to look whenever you're lost. Whenever anything fear-based is not the spirits, right? So look for signs when you are not fear-based, and that way you can recognize the signs and synchronicities for you personally even better, and that way you can ask for those signs again whenever you feel lost, right? Okay, energy flows where my intention goes. There's a lot about flowing. That's, again, by the way, you can repeat this to yourself if you want to use them as affirmations in your manifestations or anything. But it's also kind of a reminder that, hey, this is how it works. Remember, we talked about this. We've taught you this in life, right? Okay. We also have true healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. Yeah, with the 8 of Swords and the Ace of Cups, that's something as well. Yeah, thank God this card came, otherwise I would not have given that message. But whenever you feel like you're blaming yourself, guilt-tripping yourself, constraining yourself, all of these things, how you deal with that is not by shoving it aside and doing something else that distracts you from it. That's not going to make it go away, right? That's not how things work. They will still be there because it's you. You are still you. You will still be you tomorrow and day after and so on and on till the end of time itself. And how far can you run anyway? You can't. So it might as well deal with it. Why prolong it? Just might as well deal with it. So here, true healing, happens when you can allow yourself to feel even beyond that first painful thought, right? So if you're feeling like a victim, let's say, the 8 of Swords is quite common for victim mentality. So if that's something that you're struggling with, then you need to be like, why do I feel so victimized? Let the world do what they want to do. They will anyway do whatever they want to do. But why am I limiting myself? Because I know that I'm not supposed to be caged in this one tree or put in this one particular box. I know that my journey is not the same as everyone else's, and that person, this person, and me are now going to experience the same reality in the same way. So why do I feel like this? Keep going. It's important to ask why. And when you ask like this, you're being very objective about it. It's not a question of why is this happening to me. That's not the correct question. We keep asking the wrong questions. That's why we can never figure out the solution. But every time that you do not figure out a solution, just know that the question you asked was not correct to begin with. Okay? So keep going, keep going, keep going. You will discover the roots of the problems, and don't be afraid of that. You don't need to be afraid of yourself. Okay? Even the shadows, the things you feel badly about, it's important to acknowledge that yes, it was not correct to do the way that you did, or feel the way that you felt at that time towards yourself, and the things you did to yourself, etc. Okay? It is not correct. But if you truly feel that remorse, you will not repeat it. And that's what's important, right? You don't need to be afraid of the past repeating itself if you are no longer living in the past. If you are no longer limiting yourself, you don't have to worry about external things so much limiting you. It's easier said than done. That's why it is a process, but this is the objective, okay? Work in your speed, in your way, however you prefer. But isn't this liberating? It is, right? So allow yourself to feel. And this guide here is right now part of your life. I feel like it's going to be for quite a while. And also you can call onto this guide at any point. But this guide is helping you with his or her compassion, and love and empathy, sending you so much love and support through the heart because it needs you to feel. If you can feel, you can start healing. Okay, it's just don't let the past carry forward into the future. I think there were like 2 messages. There are new things coming in, so don't worry. You're not going to stay stagnant anymore, and things are going to be aligned towards you. Don't worry about that, but also work on this. Look at the things that are living beneath the surface. Elder of Cups has 0 problems delving into the deep surface. Okay, underwater, how dark it gets, it doesn't matter, because it knows that, hey, this is light here, and I do need to take out the trash sometimes, I do need to do that in order for the water to stay pristine and like my home, right? So yes, external things will always keep happening, and you will get some adverse effects, especially nowadays. It's quite disturbing in general, but that gunk needs to clear out in order for you to feel this feeling here with the Ace of Cups, the purity, the complete bliss, the peace, that trusting your intuition. Okay? I honor how I want to feel. I don't need to describe this. We already did that. So I hope this helps you, Pile 4. Thank you so much for being here. If you want a personal reading, you can always reach me via my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box and the comments below. And also, I will see you in some of my other videos. Feel free to check out any of them if you want to. See you next time. Bye.